What's up guys, Myrtle here with Myrtle Entertainment, and before I get started with today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about my latest streams that I've been doing on Twitch. The first two was the debut for Jackbox Party Pack 3. Thank you guys so much for coming out and showing support for that. I love you guys dearly for doing that. The second one was my Halloween stream for Five Nights at Freddy's. I planned on playing all four, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Sister Location, and I only got around to playing 1 and 2, and the reason why is because of simply this. On my Halloween stream, I added a private voice server for me to use on Twitch. Well, when I did that, I gave my computer too much power and things just went bad. I got a blue screen of death. My computer would crash a couple of times. My stream would quit. A lot of things have been going wrong. So I wanted to know how I could fix this issue. So I thought about streaming to 2 different computers. Well, if you do that, then you have to have a good internet connection, and I don't have one of those. I'm connected over Wi-Fi, and things just they really aren't that great for me at the moment. So I created what is called an RTMP server, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make one yourself, because I do not want you guys to have the same issues that I've been having. So basically, this would fix your CPU performance. It would fix things like that are software related. But like I said, today we're going to make an RTMP server, and I cannot wait to show you guys how. So we're going to go to my desktop scene, and we are going to get things started. Let's see. There we go. So here we are at my computer now, and I'm going to show you guys. Let me close my Explorer first. I'm going to show you guys what you need to get started, and bear with me here because this is going to be a long tutorial. Excuse me, longer than my usual ones. So I'm going to delete my recycle bin first, because I hate having files in recycle bin. So the first thing you're going to need to get started is a server called NGINX. It works really well. It's very lightweight and compatible with Windows and Linux. I'm not sure about Mac yet. So you're going to need a virtual machine as well. If you know how to do it in Windows, then go right ahead. But for the purposes of this tutorial, we're using Linux instead of Windows. And obviously, I do not have Linux installed anywhere, or I'm not a Linux user, so I have to get a virtual machine. The virtual machine client I'm using is VMware, or rather VMware Workstation Player, which is right here. This program is free, and it works very well for what we need it to do. So because you need a virtual machine, you also need an image, and I will be using Ubuntu Server because I am more familiar with Ubuntu than any other Linux distribution. So, and for those of you who don't know the difference between desktop and server, server does not have the graphical user interface, or what we call the GUI or the GUI in tech language. And the server does not have that capability. The server is all command. It's all codes and terminals and stuff like that. And you also need your email address. You need your information for Twitch. This is a link that that will give you all of your ingest servers that you can put in this server. And finally, you need to create an account with a website called DigitalOcean. This is going to give you, this will create the virtual server, if you will. But before I get started creating anything, I wanted to talk to you guys real quickly about how what exactly RTMP is and how it works. RTMP stands for, actually, before I do, to forget, I'm gonna get away from the desktop for right now, so we can just talk super quickly. And RTMP stands for Real-Time Media Protocol, and if you are a streamer, Twitch will, or Twitch, Beam, Facebook, they all work the same way. When you load OBS and you click on Start Streaming, basically OBS is saying, "Hey, Twitch, whatever, I have this video here, and I want you to go ahead and push it out to your servers." And they say, "Okay, we can do that." So what happens is, OBS, XSplit, or whatever that you use will push the video to a ingest server, and that's what that Twitch link was I showed you a second ago. It will go to an ingest server where they will register, where they will get things set up and ready, and then it will be pushed out into Twitch or your streaming provider for people to watch. So that's basically how it works. A custom RTMP server is good mainly because it's just so lightweight, and it's not as power hungry. It's not really it's not that greedy for RAM or CPU usage or anything like that. So we're gonna make one of those today. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna click on Create Droplet. Obviously you have to make an account for this to work. It's like $5 a month, so I'm sorry, but no, this is not free. I really wish it was, though. We're going to choose the Debian distribution and make sure we're on the latest version, and we are. $5 a month, and this is, like I said, this is lightweight, so keep in mind that because it's lightweight, we don't really need much RAM or CPU or hard drive for anything. So we have that. We're going to stick with New York 3. That's fine. This is a data center region, so you just pick one that's close to you. Here in the United States, there's only 2. I think Linode. I hear Linode is a pretty good alternative if you wanted to try them. They have different data center regions across anywhere, like San Francisco, New York, Georgia, North Carolina, probably. Washington, just places like that. So there's that, and then skip everything else, and we're going to give it a name. I'm just going to call it NGINX-demo. We're going to click on Create, and it'll take a couple of seconds for things to get started, or for not really get started, rather, but for it to be made. So what we're going to do now is we're going to prepare our virtual machine while that's going on. So if you don't already go ahead and install VMware or your choice of VirtualBox. It doesn't really matter which one you use because they both work. Sorry, I forgot to turn this thing on silent. There we go. So, like I said, it doesn't matter if you use VirtualBox or VMware. Both of them work the same way. So go ahead and set up your virtual machine. Go ahead and install it. I've already set one up called NGINX-server, so I'm going to get that started here in a second. And if you look here, you'll notice that you have an IP address. This is super important. You do not want to forget this IP address ever. So we're going to go ahead and get to work. Let's see. Yeah, let's get over there. So we're going to go ahead and get things coded here in just a second. That's awkward. Why is it? Okay. So, like I mentioned, sorry about that. Whoa. don't know why that happened, sorry. Everything just completely minimized. But anyway, we are going to go ahead and get started over here. So once you have your server set up, we're going to go to NGINX and admin. This is my server credentials, if you will. So now we're in our operating system. So now what we have to do is we have to do an SSH command. Keep in mind this is Linux. So we're going to do SSH root at and then our IP address. In my case, 159.203.141.164. And basically, Ubuntu is telling me here, hey, we don't recognize this IP address as a host. Do you want to add it? You just say yes. And now you have to check your email address. I've actually hidden mine so you guys can't see it. But you're given a password within your email address, and you have to type that in, so give me just a second. Alright, and then we have to type in a second time. Seriously? Okay, hold on. Let me get back in. I'm not real sure what happened there. I guess my passwords didn't quite match. Okay, so now we have to change it again. There we go. Okay, so now we're good to go. We have our passwords changed. We don't need our email address anymore. And the reason why I'm calling this NGINX demo is because I'm going to remove this once we get done. So we're going to minimize Firefox because we don't really need that anymore, well, at least for now. I'm also going to open VLC because I'm going to do a test here in a few minutes. Once we get our server made, I'm going to show you guys how it works. So the first thing that we're going to do is we need to install the packages that are in these that we need for the server. So we're going to type sudo because this is the root. This is our administrative command. apt-get install libpcre3 libpcre3-dev build-essential and libssl-dev. And just on a quick side note, if you ever see this, do you want to continue capital Y or lowercase capital Y or capital N / lowercase y lowercase n, the capital letter is your default answer. So if it's excuse me, if it says do you want to continue with a capital Y like this, that means if you don't type anything, it's going to say yes. So in my case, we're going to say yes. And give it just a minute, it's going to install the packages needed. And it'll set things up, and then we'll be ready to go. And there we go. So now we got our packages installed. Now what we need to do is clear things out. And the next thing we're going to do is download NGINX onto the server. So for this command we need wget. Actually, strike that. We need to install another command. We need to get sudo apt-get install git, G-I-T. And yes, you want to continue as well. Alright, and that's done. Now we can install NGINX. So we're going to type wget, G-E-T, not G-I-T. And it's http nginx.org/download. And when you go to check for latest versions, always go with stable. That's what I recommend. The latest mainline is 1.11.5. I recommend 10.2 because it's a stable version. So that's what we are going to use today. Hold on a second. My nose is itching. So we got that in. So we're going to type download /nginx-1.10.2.tar.gz. Alright. Now we need to type git clone, and then we're going to type the RTMP module for NGINX. NGINX is actually pretty cool because it allows, if you get the RTMP module, then this is how we will make the RTMP server. And by default, it's not installed, so we have to get it. https://github.com/arut, A-R-U-T, /nginx-rtmp-module.git. And that will pretty much just clone everything. And now we are ready to get things configured. So if you type in ls, you will see here that we have NGINX 1.10.2 we just downloaded, and we also have the NGINX RTMP module. So we're now ready to go and get things started on that end. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to extract the NGINX files that we downloaded. So to do that, you type tar xzvf and then the path or the file name. So in like nginx at 1.10.2.tar.gz, and that extracts everything. And now we're good to go. So if we ls now, you can see here that we still have the zipped package for NGINX, but look to the left, it's kind of hard to see, but this is NGINX-1.10.2, which is what we just extracted. And we also have the RTMP module. So now comes the fun part. We have to configure this. So the first thing we're going to do is cd into NGINX, and this will put it. Oh wait. Okay, hold on. Oh, I didn't do it right, that's why. Sorry about that. -1.10.2. Oops. Okay, hold on a second. I'll get it. CD NGINX-1.10.2. There we go. Sorry about the little miscommunication there. So, now we got that ready. Now it's time to configure everything. So, if we ls... Oops. Crap. Okay, sorry about that. I got a little messed up. So, like I said, we're going to let me cd back in. Alright, so now if we do ls, we see all these commands that we can do. We're sticking with the green configure command. So, we're going to type, now we have to compile the two together. So to do that, we are going to type /configure add -module, and it's 2 dashes before add, so --add -module equals /root /nginx -rtmp -module. And once you do that, it should configure everything. And yep, we just configured it. So next we have to type make. And what this is going to do is actually create the NGINX. This will create the NGINX that we need for our server to work. So this is going to take about a minute or so. It looks like it's almost done, I think. Upstream, file cache. And also, NGINX works pretty good for HTTP servers too. Excuse me. So, if you guys know how to work with HTTP servers and NGINX, you can make that as well. But like I said, for the purposes of this tutorial, we're actually just sticking with the RTMP side of things. Come on. There it goes. Alright, so now we got that done. The last thing we have to type is sudo make install. And now we're done. So if now we're going to test the server to make sure it works. So I'm going to clear all this out, and we're going to type /user usr /local /nginx /sbin /nginx again, and enter. So now the server is up and running. So now if we go into Firefox and we type in the RP address that we have, 159.203.141.164, oops, hold on, .164, it says welcome to NGINX. So this basically shows you that we have successfully installed NGINX to our system. So now all we have to do is we have to further configure the server, which is what we're going to do now. So the next thing that we need to do is we have to type in a command called nano. This is a text editor that's included in the server. So nano /user again /local, and remember it's USR, not USER, /local /nginx /conf /nginx.conf, and this will open up NGINX's configuration file, like you see here. So now this part is optional. You can keep the HTTP server if you want, or you can delete it. I am going to keep it because I want to test and see if the server would still run after this. So we're going to keep the HTTP portion, but like I said, you can delete if you want to, because we don't really need it. So the first thing we're going to type in is RTMP, because we're setting up an RTMP server. And we use the little curly brackets as if you're coding JavaScript. So next you type server, if I can type right. There we go. And the first command we type here is listen 1935. This is the port that RTMP listens to, so this is important. Next we're going to do chunk size 4096, and then after that is the most important part of your configuration is the application. So we're going to type application, if I can learn how to type, and give it whatever name. In my case, for demo purposes, I'm going to do live. And then under that, we're going to set record off. You can actually set the record, you can actually tell NGINX to record what you send to it, but we're not going to do that. So then we're going to type live on, because we're streaming it. And then the most important part, this is where you get your Twitch information. So to type in your Twitch information, for an example, I'm not putting in my personal information here, but for an example, you're going to type in push because you're pushing out to somewhere. You're streaming to somewhere. You have to push video to somewhere. That's why it's called push. Then we type RTMP : 2/, and this is where the Twitch ingest servers come into play. Now, what you want to do is you want to find the NGINX server that is closest to the server that you're using for DigitalOcean. So if you live in San Francisco, you would use the San Francisco Twitch handle. I'm sorry, if your server is located in San Francisco, then use San Francisco. For instance, so for mine, I am in New York, or mine is in New York. So I'm going with live-jfk-twitch.tv. So I need to type that in. Alright. And then after that comes /app/ and then this is where your stream key for your stream goes. And obviously you know where to get that. You have to go in your dashboard in Twitch or wherever your server key is. You have to find your stream key, put it in the server, and then you're ready to go. So I'm going to take off push because I'm not needing it right now. But the purposes work the exact same way. So I'm going to close off everything, one for application, one for server, and one for RTMP. So now we're done with everything. Keep in mind you will need to push in there for if you're streaming out to something. I've already got my own personal RTMP server running, so and I have that already configured. So we're going to do Control-O, Enter, Control-X. And what that does is write out the server that we need. So now we're going to type, I'm going to do clear, and as a matter of fact, okay, well, let's see. Okay, I forgot to stop it earlier, so I'm going to have to restart everything. And to start the server, you just type in that passcode, or you type in the pathway, user local nginx sbin nginx. To stop it, you type the same path in there with -s stop, and that will stop it for you. It's getting a little hoarse. So now we've stopped it at the moment. So if we refresh the page, we're probably not going to get anything because the server's not running. As you can tell, we don't have any kind of connectivity. So now comes the interesting part. We're going to start it back up because now we have to configure OBS. And to show that we did, we have the Welcome to NGINX server on. We have the Welcome to NGINX page loaded, so we are now ready to go. Now comes the interesting part. We now have to configure our encoding software. So if we take OBS here, sorry you're seeing a little screen thing over there, but now we have to configure our OBS settings. So we're going to go into settings over here, and then we are going to go to stream. And usually yours will be set to streaming services because you're streaming to Twitch, Beam, Facebook, wherever. You want to set it to custom streaming server, and I'm going to change my information now. Excuse me. So we're going to click we're going to type RTMP : our IP address from before 159.203.141.164/live, because this is the application that we created in our server configuration. And stream key, you don't really need anything in there. If you don't want to put anything in there, I'm just going to type test because I just want to have something in there rather than nothing. So we're going to click apply and OK. and then we're ready to go. So we just click on Start Streaming, and we're now starting to stream. How does it work? If we load VLC, give me just a second. There we go. If we look at VLC and open a network stream, if we go RTMP 159.203.141.164/live/test, because this is your stream key, and we press play. Let's see. Hold on, I'm getting audio here. There we go. So now we have our stream ready to go. So this is my current desktop scene here in OBS, and of course it's kind of, I know it froze right now, but that's basically how it works. And if you notice, the frames are starting to drop, which is a bad thing. So I'm going to stop streaming, and that's how it works. So now you've pretty much now you know how to set up your own NGINX server. That is it for this tutorial. I know it's been pretty long. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I will definitely try and help you out. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys in the next video. Until then, bye!